Welcome everyone to the 2023-2024 season of the Bowling Promotion Tour. We're going to switch to team competition now. Our match today features Team Sirius versus Team Mercury, with the winner bowling the Comet team for a chance at the title match. In our other bracket, we'll have Team Vega versus Team Orion, with the winners bowling the World's team and the right to bowl in the title match. Let's look at our lineups for today. On Team Mercury, we have Stanislaw Nodin. We have Gregory Rius, the captain, Ben Marston, and Ane Cruzat. Over on Team Sirius, we have Monica Shack-Nielsen, the 15-year-old, Sophie Kiergaard-Nielsen, Austin Taylor, and Luis Bonet, the captain. And here we are, getting ready to start. We are at the Bowling Sphere in Fontaine, Comte, a town about 200 miles southwest of Paris. And this is, of course, Baker competition, which means of the four bowlers, two bowlers will bowl two of the frames, and two bowlers will bowl three of the frames. And let's watch Stanislaw Nodin kick us off on the left lane for Team Mercury. And Team Mercury, of course, was the number 5 seed. He comes up a little bit high, leaves a 4-pin. We did have 6 teams qualify for this competition, and we will be bringing you 5 Baker matches. And there he goes with that two-handed release. All that power goes a little bit high and leaves the 4-pin. And now Nodin, the 23-year-old Frenchman, only bowling for 5 years, will go cross lane at the 4-pin. And the first two bowlers will bowl the 9th and 10th frame of each team. And there's Nodin. Will it hook? No, doesn't quite get over to cover the 4-pin. And that leaves Team Mercury open in the first frame. Kind of an unforced error there to kick things off. Certainly expected that ball to hook through the oil. We are on the Gateway Arch oil pattern. There is quite a bit more oil in the middle, a 9-to-1 ratio. But I still thought that ball might hook at least a little bit down the middle to get over to the 4-pin, but it did not. And now here we see Monica Shack-Nielsen from Denmark, and she was featured in 3 victories in our Masters stepladder, and she's going to be kicking things off for Team Sirius, or some delay here. Not sure what that is. She says, okay, well, we'll go ahead and start anyway. And there is Monica with that signature purple hammer. We'll see quite a few purple hammers, especially on this Sirius team. And Monica has been deadly in her pocket percentage and has not missed a spare in all of her games. And she has got a wonderful form, and she's only 15 years old. And there's that beautiful stroke we've come to know. Gets it out to the dry, turns it up, and perfect strike for Monica to kick things off. And that will put Team Sirius on the right track with a perfect flush strike from Monica. Gets it out to the dry, again outside of the 9 board. To the right of the 9 board is where the dry boards are. It's not exceptionally dry, so it is a little bit of a blend. So it is useful to get your ball out there and get it to turn up towards the pocket. And here now is Sophie Kiergaard-Nielsen, Sophie's twin sister Karen, and she had a match as part of the Masters stepladder. They qualified right next to each other. And her sister, of course, the left-hander. And here's a shot out to pretty much the same space. Looks like exactly the same shot that Monica threw, and the same result with the purple hammer coming up through the pocket. A perfect flush strike for Sophie. And look at that, out to the 7 or 8 board. Turns right up through the pocket. High flush. Splits the 8 and 9. And a perfect strike there and a double to kick things off for Team Sirius. Again, we had 6 qualifiers. Number 1 qualifier was the World's team. Number 2, the Comets. Number 3 was Vega. Number 4 was Sirius. Number 5, Mercury. And number 6, Team Orion. Here's Gregory Rius, and he comes up with a violent mixer strike. And that will help the Team Mercury side of things. And watch this release. Strokes hard up through the shot. Gets it out to the dry. Turns up. Purple hammer. And get that mixer action. That's that two-handed power that we've seen so much of. Rius, a wonderful example of the two-handed style. And let's see, this is out to about the 7 or 8 board. Turns up, a little bit light, and the headpin goes to the sideboard and devastates the 4-7, taking it out. Here is our first look at Ben Marston. Ben goes Brooklyn. Ben is a 16-year-old Englishman. He won the English Youth Masters in 2022. And look at that open shoulder. And he got a little bit of a yank there. Might have been a little TV jitters there on his first shot. And again, a lot of youth here on the lanes. In fact, Rius, the oldest bowler of all 8 players at age 26. So quite a bit of youth here. And now you see the hands up. This is when you leave the 5-pin. If you have your hand up and the person would somehow miss the 5-pin, they owe you a drink. And no problem there for Ben. He covers the 5-pin, so saves himself a bar tab. So good news there. Now let's go back to Team Sirius, who's off to an immediate 19-pin lead. Kicking things off here, and this is going to be left-hander Austin Taylor, 22-year-old Englishman. He's been a member of the English youth team for 10 years. And that looks like a polished reality that he has there. And he gets it out a little bit to the left. Perfect strike. Boy, 3 flush strikes in a row here for Team Sirius. And that's crossing about the 3rd arrow out to the dry boards. Turns up. Boy, nothing but net on these 3 first shots for Team Sirius. And they are perfect. And now we'll get our first look at Captain Louis Bonnet, 22-year-old Belgian. He's the 2023 France Regional Champion. And here's another purple hammer. And another 2-hander. Let's see how Bonnet attacks this pattern. And he is a little bit deeper, but he crosses about the 12 board out to the try boards and dead flush again. Look at this. 4 absolute picture-perfect strikes to kick things off for Team Sirius. And that would be the front 4. Look at that, out to those 2 dark boards there about the break point. That's a 7 and the 8 board. And the ball turns up through that dry and boom, nothing but shrapnel and a vortex strike, as we call it. All 10 pins back in the pit. And now our first look at Anaïs Cruzan from France. And Anaïs, another young 19-year-old. She was the 2019 Finland European champ. And she gets it out. That's out to the dry. Will it turn up? No, doesn't quite get up to the pocket. That leaves the 2-8. And I think she was hoping for a little bit more turn there, getting it outside of the large amount of oil in the middle. She got it out to the right, hoping for a little bit of turn, but she leaves the 2-8. And now, given what happened to Stanislaw Nodin and that he didn't get his ball to hook in the middle, how will she approach the 2-8? She is going with her strike ball to hook into the spare. And goes right at it. Yep, nice slow shot down the track, and perfect cover of the 2-8 spare there. Unfortunately, though, spares are not going to get it done for Team Mercury with Sirius with the front 4 here. And here is Nodin's second shot. He started off with that high 4-pin that he flagged, unfortunately. Let's see what he can do here. Okay, so I can't really tell what that equipment is. I don't think it hooks very much, though. Let's see where he adjusts off that 4-pin. Might have moved a little left in the approach. And shots away. Looks good down the track, but a little bit light in the pocket this time, and that's a flat 10. That can be a very frustrating sequence, to go high for a 4-pin, then you make a little tiny adjustment, and then you come up light and leave the 10-pin. So 4-pin, 10-pin makes it very difficult to find the right angle to get the ball through the pins to strike. And now Nodin will go cross lane with his plastic ball. And good shot there. Our next match, this is the number 4 and number 5 seeds, Sirius and Mercury. Our next match will be Team Vega against Orion. That's the number 3 versus the number 6 seeds. And then the respective winners will go up against Team Worlds and Team Comets. And then we will figure out our final match. Again, 5 Baker matches we are bringing you as part of this team competition. And here is Monica. Look at the way she wipes the oil off that ball. Urethane balls, the oil tends to stay on the outside of the ball. where reactive balls more often will absorb the oil. So quite often you'll go to wipe off your ball in the next shot with a reactive ball, and there won't be any oil line on it because the oil is actually absorbed into the ball. And here's Monica, perfect the first time, and she gets the messenger to roll across the deck and take out the 10-pin and make it the front 5 for Team Sirius. Look at her follow through, gets that arm across her body, give it all the power she can, and it comes up and give me the roller, and it comes across and takes out the 10-pin, bowler's best friend. So that would be the front 5 for Team Sirius. They are plus 40 and the other team is minus 13 right now, so we're already looking at a deficit of quite a bit, 54 pins already. So, and another strike there, perfect shot by Sophie, and look at this, front 6 for Team Sirius, and they are already sending a message not just to Team Mercury but to the other teams in this bracket. Look at that, another perfect strike. So the only strike that wasn't dead flush was Monica's messenger. So here's Reuse. Can he get us on track here? And here he goes, and he struck the first time and gets the trip 4. That's 2 strikes for Reuse on this gateway arch pattern. Look at that ball turn hard through the pocket and gets that little love tap from behind to carry the trip 4. And now here's Ben Marston, again 16 years old, went Brooklyn the first time. Let's see if he can straighten things out here. Very important that Team Mercury starts striking. And there's a shot right up the track, holds the line and strikes. So that's a key double for Team Mercury to try to get themselves back into this match. And now Team Sirius halfway to 300. And we'll be watching Austin Taylor, again the Englishman, come up with that reality, and let's see if he can strike again. Everyone perfect on Team Sirius. And a lot of power for a one-hander and a beautiful stroke. Gets around it and a little bit high in the pocket, but gets the trip 6. Hello. Gives it the little chop there, and that might be a little Pete Weber move, and gets it around down the 15 board and turns up a little bit high, but again the trip 6. So Reuse with the trip 4, and there is Austin Taylor with the left-hand equivalent with the trip 6. So here we go, 300 becoming a very real possibility here for Team Sirius. Ken Bonnet, the captain from Belgium, can he carry on the strike train here? Two-hander with the purple hammer, and that's a little bit light in the pocket. Oh, and he mixes the pins for a mixer 7 and breaks the string, unfortunately. But what a nice run, front 7 for Team Sirius. And a commanding lead now by Team Sirius with the front 7. They're already in the 240s, and Team Mercury able to only get to the 230s if they can go off the sheet. So it's already they would need help already from Team Sirius if Team Mercury were able to win this match. And, well, speaking of help, that might be a little. Unfortunately, that's an open frame, and the same kind of miss that Nodine suffered earlier. He got it in the oil and it didn't quite make the turn. And so now Team Sirius in the 240s, and they would need to open one more time to get to the 230s to give Team Mercury a chance to get into the 230s with them. And here is Ane Cruzat, and she strikes. That's 3 in a row for Team Mercury, and they're still in this match. And that's a nice shot. Makes a little adjustment off her last shot, scrambles the rack, And there is a triple. All-important 9th frame now. Again, Team Mercury can go off the sheet for 236. Team Sirius now pacing to 247. That's if they went strike, spare, strike. So they would have to open again to give Mercury a chance, and that's if they strike here. And that's in the pocket. Oh, blower 710 for Nodine. That's a high for a 4-pin, light for a weak 10, and now a 710. So Stanislaw Nodine just never finding the angle into the pocket. I think the equipment's a little weak. It doesn't quite make the corner, and leaves the blower 710, and that will do it for this match. It is going to be, and that ball did actually, looks like it fell into the channel, so it will be Team Sirius moving on, and they will go on to their next match, and it will be Sirius against the Comet team, and the winner of that match will go into our final. And of course, our next match on this channel once again will be the number 3 seed Vega against the number 6 team Orion. And again, really no hope for Team Mercury, as all they can do now is strike out for 200. So it's really just a victory lap now for Monica and Team Sirius. Again, my name is Bruce Hall. I'm your international commentator for these matches. And a huge shout out to Bruno, Bidone, and Helene Parker. They are your French commentators. There's another great shot by Monica. Unfortunately, it's a ringing 10. And we'll get back to the Masters stepladder, the 16 or 15 person stepladder, should I say. We'll also get back to the mixed doubles Baker competition. We'll be wrapping up all of those on the same YouTube channel. I want to give a shout out to you, our fans. We're up to 30,000 subscribers on this channel. And so like and subscribe, and you can be notified when new matches are available. And once again, Monica keeps her perfect spare shooting alive. And I'll tell you, for a 15-year-old, she's so calm and never misses a spare. And here's Team Sirius taking the victory lap, and it will be Sophie Kiergaard taking us into the 10th. And 220, 257 available for Team Sirius. And let's see where Sophie's struck twice, so where's she going to go? I would say make the same shot. And by the way, strike again. Perfect 3 flush strikes by Sophie Kiergaard Nielsen. Great shot there. If you want to be part of the Bowling Promotion Tour, you can check out the Bowling Promotion website. They're making their plans for the 2024 tour, 2024-2025 tour now. That tour happens in late September around various locations in France. And various locations will have team qualifying, they'll have team competition, they'll have individual qualifying, and then we have our Baker doubles based on the qualifying scores of the individuals. And now Sophie, second shot. That one's a little bit inside, so she got that down the oil, didn't quite get it out to the dry, and it does the same thing Nodine's ball did, which is it skids through the oil and leaves her the blower 710, and she can get one of these for the 246 score for Team Sirius. And she does, throwing that retro Brunswick Crown Jewel plastic ball, and very, very nice showing here for Team Sirius with a commanding front 7. And that was all they needed to put away Team Mercury. And now Reuse will close it out for Team Mercury. Again, 200 available for this team. Reuse, remember, the French national team, bowling for 17 years, and you can tell, very good, strong player, strong two-hander. And again, as we said, a 26-year-old, the older of the oldest player on the lanes right now. And we'll very much be looking forward to our next match here, which again will be number 3 Team Vega against number 6 Team Orion. That will be the next match coming along. And then we'll have the Sirius match against the Comets. And a ring 10 for reuse. Cannot get that done. Cubica AMS Strike Tour Series is a special event organized by Bowling Promotion for the French Federation and the French Olympic Sport Channel for the promotion of bowling in general and the French team specifically. And we want to thank Cubica AMF, who signed on for a 3-year commitment to sponsor the Masters Series, which is our individual stepladder. So thanks very much to them. And reuse, unfortunately, goes by the 10-pin. And that's going to leave a 189 score for Team Mercury, a convincing victory by Team Sirius. They will move on to face the Comets, and we will have that back on this same YouTube channel. And again, my name is Bruce Hall, and we will see you back for our next team competition match.